There is a moment in life when one has to decide and ask oneself who they want to become. It's not a simple wish, it's a firm decision. And when you make that decision, what follows is equally important. Surround yourself with people who already live the way you want to live. People who inspire you, lift you up, and push you forward. Because if you keep surrounding yourself with negative, complaining people without dreams or energy, you'll end up being dragged down by them. It's as if you're carrying a chain tied to your ankle that holds you back every time you try to move forward. Many times people tell me, I'm trapped in a job where my boss is poison to my spirit, or I'm in a relationship that takes more from me than it gives. And my response is always clear. If you're in a toxic environment, you'll never be able to reach your full potential. You'll never feel fulfilled. You'll never become the person you could be. So I ask them this direct question. Do you really want to live up to your maximum potential? Yes or no? Because if the answer is yes, then this is what you need to know. I didn't invent this truth. I'm just passing it on. If you surround yourself with people without vision, you'll end up the same. And I've seen this time and time again for more than 25 years. Thousands of people have told me how this simple understanding completely changed their lives, although they also confessed it was one of the hardest decisions they ever made. Sometimes that means saying goodbye to old friends, family members, or relationships you've been carrying for years. But if those relationships are holding you back, you have to let them go. It's like pulling out a rotten tooth. The sooner you do it, the less it hurts. Now do this right here in the comments. Write with determination. Starting today, I begin to develop my full potential. It's not just a phrase, it's a commitment to yourself. It's the first step toward a new version of you. And when you write it, you'll feel it. You'll notice that energy pushing you forward. Do it now. And let this be the starting point of your new life. And now let's continue. There's something that can take you to the next level, and it's this. Create your own alliance of minds. What does that mean? It means finding 1, 2, or more people you admire who are positive, ambitious, focused, and meeting with them once a week, not to waste time, but to share ideas, talk about projects, challenges, and dreams. It could be a breakfast, a lunch, a simple chat, but that connection of focused minds creates transformative energy. When you gather with people who think about growing, something powerful happens. Ideas flow, fears dissipate, and motivation appears. Research, including my own and studies by a brilliant man named Napoleon Hill, has shown that these types of associations are one of the secrets to high performance. It's almost a guarantee of success because no one goes far walking alone. And speaking of success, there's another practice that transforms your mind from the roots, starting the day well. Why? Because there are 2 key moments when your mind is most receptive: just before going to sleep and just upon waking. Those are the moments when your consciousness lowers its guard and your subconscious is ready to absorb new information. And in that space, you can plant thoughts that propel you forward. What I do is simple but powerful. Before going to sleep, I lie down, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and repeat in the present tense, tomorrow I wake up with energy. Tomorrow I wake up feeling amazing. Tomorrow will be a great day. I say it several times, as if I'm installing a new system in my mind. And when I wake up, thank you, I already have that attitude programmed. I wake up feeling renewed, focused, and clear. When I open my eyes in the morning, before moving, I already have a powerful idea in mind. Today is going to be a great day. And the first thing I do is say out loud, with confidence, I feel amazing. And I don't just say it once, I say it several times. Even when my body isn't cooperating yet, even if I'm tired, I repeat it. I feel amazing. It doesn't matter how you feel in that moment. What matters is what you're telling your mind. Because your mind doesn't know if it's real or imagined. It just reacts to what you repeatedly tell it with conviction. And trust me, if you say it with strength, your body starts to respond. It's like igniting an inner spark, and you start the day with more clarity, more focus, even before your coffee. Now, the second thing I do as soon as I wake up is dedicate time to myself, not to social media, not to the news, not to the world's problems. I get up earlier than usual. I find a quiet space and read for at least half an hour. I read things that feed my mind, inspire me, and make me think big. I'm not talking about gossip magazines or watching the morning news. I'm talking about words that lift your spirit, something that gives you perspective, something that reminds you of what you're capable of. I call it my mental protein dose. Just like the body needs good food to stay strong, the mind needs powerful ideas to stay focused. If you do this every day, if you use that first hour of the morning as your sacred space, you'll notice how your way of thinking changes. Clarity arrives, ideas flow, and you'll feel better about yourself. I call it my golden hour. And there's a reason for that name, because it's worth gold. It's a life-changing ritual. People from all walks of life have told me that just by adopting this habit, their days began to transform. And once you discover the value of that hour with yourself, there's no going back. Even if you're sleepy, even if the alarm goes off too early, you'll get up eagerly just to experience it again. Because that hour has the power to change not just your day, but the entire course of your life. And then there's something many people ignore, but it makes all the difference. Review your goals. Every morning, before letting the noise of the world into your mind, take a moment to remember where you're headed. What are you building? What do you want to achieve? Think of it like a sailor in the middle of the sea. No one sets sail without knowing their destination. That's how the mind works. When you review your goals, you engrave them deep within you, and that gives direction to your actions. That keeps you focused. I learned this years ago, and it still amazes me how powerful it is. Just 3 simple things to start the day. Tell yourself you feel amazing. Feed your mind with powerful ideas, and review your goals like they're your map. With just these, your energy changes, your attitude changes, your entire day transforms, and all of this has a powerful foundation suggestion. Everything that enters your mind, every word, every image, every conversation has an effect. If you're constantly hearing negative things, filling yourself with fear, anxiety, criticism, or complaints, it gets stored in your subconscious. And then, without you noticing, it starts to influence your decisions, your mood, your results. That's why I say the outside world is nothing but a reflection of your inner world. If your mind is filled with fear, it will show in your actions. If it's full of worry, it will affect your relationships, your health, your progress. So take care of what you mentally consume, just like you take care of what you eat to stay healthy. Surround yourself with nourishing words. Read books that awaken your greatness. Listen to messages that uplift you. Talk to people who elevate you. Attend talks, take courses. Seek out moments of learning. And something I once heard from a mentor that I thought was brilliant. If you don't have money, invite someone successful for coffee. Not to show off, but because being with someone who's walked the path you want to take gives you something no book can offer. You can learn more from one conversation with the right person than from months of trying alone. So surround yourself with winners. Look at the people who live the way you want to live. Observe them, get close, learn from them, and start building that version of yourself you know is inside you. Because it all starts there, with what you let into your mind and heart every morning. Nowadays, many people feel trapped. They live without direction. They get up, go to work or school, do what they have to do, but deep down they feel stuck, like something greater is calling them, like they have a sleeping power. They can't quite awaken. And I get it, with so much pressure, so much negative news, social media full of comparisons and false expectations, it's easy to lose yourself. It's easy to start believing you don't have what it takes to achieve great things. It's easy to settle for surviving instead of truly living. But what many people don't know is that the potential they feel inside is real. It's there. Only no one ever taught them how to use it. No one told them how to awaken it. No one showed them how to trust themselves when everything around them screams otherwise. No one showed them that the power isn't out there, it's within. And that's what I want to remind you of today. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not that inner voice telling you that you can't. You are more than that. But to discover it, you have to make different choices. You have to start taking care of yourself from the inside, because potential doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's built, worked on, cultivated, and it starts with small things. It starts with how you talk to yourself, how you wake up in the morning, what kind of thoughts you feed your mind, what kind of people you let into your life. Look around you. How many people are living frustrated? How many are tired, overwhelmed, directionless? Anxiety, sadness, and lack of purpose have become part of the daily routine. And the worst part is that many believe it's normal, that feeling bad all the time is just part of growing up. But it's not. What's happening is that we've forgotten how to connect with what gives us strength. We've forgotten how to dream. We've forgotten what makes us feel alive. We've placed our happiness in external things: the phone, others' approval, work, money. But real change begins when you look inward, when you decide to take control of your life. Even if it's with small steps, start by listening to what your body is telling you. If you're tired, it's not just from lack of sleep, it's from lack of purpose. If you're bored, it's not because your life is simple, it's because your mind needs a new challenge. Your soul needs to move, grow, overcome, and that only happens when you take responsibility for your personal growth. When you say, I'm not going to wait for the world to change, I'm going to change first. Developing your potential doesn't mean everything will be solved tomorrow. It means that today, right here and now, you take a step forward. It means you wake up with intention, read a book instead of spending an hour on your phone, exercise even if you're feeling lazy, talk to yourself with respect, write down your goals even if they seem far away, surround yourself with people who inspire you, not drain you, and choose to believe in yourself even when you don't have proof yet. That's developing your potential. It's not about being perfect, it's about not giving up. Because the truth is this: no one is going to come save you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. No one is going to push you to achieve your goals. That's your job. And if you're waiting for the perfect conditions, you'll never start. There will always be problems. There will always be doubts. There will always be fear. But there will also always be a choice, and that choice is to move forward. I know it's not easy. We all have days when we want to give up, but we also all have a flame inside us that, if nurtured, can set everything ablaze. That flame is fueled by action, purpose, and truth, not excuses, complaints, or distractions. So today, I invite you to make a decision, not to change everything at once, but to start a journey where you commit to yourself, where you give yourself permission to fail, but also to rise, where you believe in your dreams, even if others don't. Because developing your potential isn't a matter of luck, it's a matter of will. And it all begins when you decide to stop living asleep and start living awake. Now, think about this for a moment. How many times have you had a good idea, but did nothing with it? Maybe you thought about starting something, learning something new, starting a project, or simply improving some aspect of your life, but you didn't do it. And do you know why? Because many times, it's not that we can't, it's that we're afraid of failure, afraid of criticism, afraid of not being enough. That fear is what stops most people. It's an invisible barrier that lives in the mind, but if you do nothing, if you don't face that fear, your potential stays trapped. It fades little by little. And that's what happens to so many people. They fill themselves with doubts, excuses, I'll start tomorrow, and let years pass without taking that leap. Look around you. There are people who've already given up, and they're only 20 or 30 years old. They live as if their story is already written, as if they can't change anything. But that's not true. You're still in time. You're always in time as long as you're alive. All you need is to take that first step. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Change is always uncomfortable, but it's also necessary, because if you stay where you are, you won't grow. And without growth, there's no happiness. And maybe you're thinking, but I don't know where to start. And that's okay. No one is born knowing how to transform their life, but you can start with what you have, with a little you know. Because the truth is, you don't need to have everything figured out to begin. You just need to take action, learn along the way, fall and try again. Start with small changes. For example, turn off your phone an hour before bed and use that time to read or think about your goals. Wake up a little earlier to exercise or plan your day. Make a list of the things you really want to achieve this year. Write down how you want to feel, what kind of person you want to be, what habits you want to build, and start acting as if you're already that person. Don't wait for confidence. Confidence comes when you do things despite being afraid. Another important thing, take care of your environment. Many people want to improve their lives, but stay surrounded by negative people, people who complain all day, who criticize, who believe in nothing, and what they don't realize is that this environment seeps into their minds. The words you hear every day become your way of thinking. So, if you really want to grow, surround yourself with people who lift you up, people who push you to move forward, who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself. And if you don't have anyone like that nearby, don't worry, start by being that person for yourself. Talk to yourself with more love, more respect, more patience, because many times we are our own worst enemies. We say things to ourselves we'd never say to someone we love. So change that inner dialogue. Start treating yourself the way you treat someone you truly care about. It's also key to understand that progress isn't always noticeable right away. Sometimes you do things right for a week, and it feels like nothing's changing. And that's where most people give up. But that's exactly where you need to keep going. Because real change is like planting a seed. You don't see the fruit the next day, but if you keep watering it, if you keep caring for it, one day it sprouts and everything starts to make sense. So don't get discouraged. Trust the process. We all have tough days. We all feel like we're not moving forward, but those days count too. Because if you can keep going even when you don't see results, then you're growing. You're building your character. And that's worth more than any quick result. Because true potential isn't about doing big things one day, it's about being consistent. It's about doing it right even when no one's watching. And always remember this, you don't need to compare yourself to anyone. Your path is yours. Your pace is yours. You're not in a race with others. You're building a life that makes you proud. So don't pressure yourself to get there faster. Just make sure you don't stop. If you commit to yourself today, if you decide to take that first step, no matter how small, you're already awakening the potential inside you. And every day you keep moving forward, you'll feel stronger, more focused, more alive. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about starting, about believing in yourself, about trusting that you're capable of so much more, and above all, about not giving up. And if you ever feel stuck, if you feel like nothing's changing or you're moving too slowly, remember something very important. Moving slowly is better than standing still. Every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the best version of yourself. And that's what really matters. Some people want quick results and get frustrated when they don't see change in a week. But the truth is, the things that matter take time. Developing your potential isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process. It's like building a house from scratch. You can't put up the roof without laying the foundation first. And those foundations are your habits, your mindset, your daily decisions. That's why it's so important to start from within. Work on yourself, strengthen your mind, protect your energy. Learn to choose what you let into your life. Because if you don't filter what you consume, whether it's what you hear, see, or the people around you, it's easy to lose your way. But when you decide to take control, when you choose which thoughts to feed, everything starts to change. And the most beautiful thing about all this is that when you grow, you inspire others to grow too. When you dare to step out of fear, leave your comfort zone, and fight for your dreams without realizing it, you're giving others permission to do the same. You're showing through your example that it's possible. True potential isn't about what you know or what you have. It's about what you do with what you have today. It's about the small decisions, the daily consistency, the will to improve even just a little each day. You can develop your potential if you're willing to commit to yourself, to step out of fear, to build the life you truly deserve. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to this message until the end. Thank you for giving me your time. And if this inspired you, if it helped you see things from a new perspective, I invite you to keep walking with me on this journey of growth. Until next time.